Welcome to the TNT for MND. Today, let's talk about Turnitin. Similarity doesn't equal plagiarism. That is the title of this video. In this world, with the advancement in artificial intelligence, we have actually seen a high level of academic dishonesty, or there's a positive correlation between the development in AI with the higher level of plagiarism or higher level of academic dishonesty. It is actually very important for us to note that artificial intelligence technologies um, are existing today, not as research curiosities, but as commercially viable products. These AI are in the hands of the multinational corporations, powerful people that have got money, and they are out there to make money. So it's actually very important for us to be able to know why AI is developing or is advancing at such a high speed or high rate. I'm not trying to discredit the benefits of artificial intelligence. Actually, we in this group we promote the use of technology for academic excellence. So technology, although there are some bad things in technology which we cannot sanction, we also encourage you to use technology. There are so many benefits of using IA. There are so many benefits of using chat GPT, which include a student being able to carry out literature review much faster than before. There's going to be some video coming in the future to show you how you can use chat GTP and how you can use the other features out there to write your literature review much faster in an acceptable way. And also, it gives a student an opportunity to learn or to have an insight in the areas that are more complex or in areas that are new to them. So they say if we use the technology with good reason, we will tend to benefit. But because universities now have been experiencing a high level of academic dishonesty through the use of chat GTP, the use of chat PDF, the use of AI paraphrasing tools, and all other tools. The universities now are increasingly adopting the use of Turnitin. And you are going to see that in countries that are slightly behind in terms of technology. They are not using Turnitin a lot because most of the work that they are using, they are still using hard copies. So they are not checking whether students are stealing the work or whether students are not buying dissertations that has been published by other students in previous years. And this has been happening in most countries that are still behind in terms of technology, where students buy work published dissertation from people and they reproduce that for market. So that's the biggest challenge that we are facing in today's world. But thanks to Turnitin, that can now detect some high levels of academic dishonest as a result of students using the chat GTP tools or the AI tools. So it's actually out there, or the Turnitin is actually out there to match the challenge that the chat GTP is actually posing. Anyway, it is them as well that are it is the multinational companies that are promoting chat GTP. They are also the ones that are also promoting the Turnitin tools. So you are going to actually see that most universities in the few months to come or in the few years to come, they will be actually able to detect any work that has been produced by chat GTP without problems. When we talk about Turnitin, we talk about similarities. We do not talk mainly about plagiarism. Plagiarism is actually an act of violation or academic violation of academic integrity, and it is never acceptable. When we talk about plagiarism, in most cases, we are talking of a highest level of offense that a student could have committed. And in most universities, once you are caught that you have committed plagiarism, they will suspend you. They will suspend you. In some of them, they will not give you an opportunity to come back again. So Turnitin does not detect plagiarism, but it does detect similarity in your work. When you submit your work to Turnitin, the Turnitin will take that work, compares it with a massive database of content, including the internet, the academic and student paper content, which include the books and the other publications. And it looks for similarity. And what it gives you back is the similarity score. And others, they refer that as the similarity index score in form of a percentage. And high similarity score, low similarity score, there is nothing that is good or bad. We can't say we have got a good similarity score. When a similarity score or your percentage of similarity is lower, then you have got a good paper. It's nothing. We don't interpret similarity like that, because in some cases a high similarity score is actually good, because it actually shows that you have actually consulted various literature as you were writing your work, and actually reading various literature, various books, so many books, multiple books. It's actually a very vital step on the road to formulate your own viewpoints and arguments. If you don't read, you are going to see that you're going to struggle with argument. So the similarity score, when you talk over the similarity score, it is now the percentage of the work submitted by the student that is similar to the content in the databases. So when you get that report, or when you get that similarity report, you need to go back to it and try to analyze and see what exactly have come out in the similarity score. The example that I have given you, 4 to 1, is the total similarity score. So we cannot judge the work of a student, or your work, by looking at the total similarity score, because a high similarity score, low similarity score might not mean anything. There is you need to check on the individual similarity score, and in some universities they will say for master's degree, their individual similarity score must be 3 and below, and for doctoral the similarity score must be 2% and below. So you just need to consult with your department, with your university, how they interpret the similarity index. Then what is a good or bad similarity score? I talked about that. According to Turnitin 2023, there is no good or bad similarity score, no magic number. In other words, there is no, if you got a low similarity score, if you got a high similarity score, according to that statement, it is just the same. It does not mean much. So because there are so many factors that influence the similarity score, which include the length of your document. If you are submitting a document that is 400 pages and you are checking for similarities, of course you are more likely to get a high similarity score. And some of the specifications or requirements will lead to high similarity score. For example, some of the universities might ask you to submit or your document with references, with some attachment, or in the appendix, and some of those attachments that you submit are used by students as a standard, so you can't change them, and they have been submitted to the Turnitin several times. So the chances that they will be able to be the Turnitin who's going to pick them is very high, because it's already in the database. So that will influence, or that will affect your your similarity index score, your total similarity index score. So also the level of mastery for student with integration of research evidence such as summarizing, quoting, and paraphrasing. Some students cannot paraphrase. They end up quoting or use direct quotation in their work. Some of them, they struggle to summarize. And if you use more direct quotes, then you are more likely to have a high similarity index score. However, if you are telling us where you got the whatever you wrote in your document, there will be no issues. Then the writing genre. I always emphasize that you need to develop your skill in synthesis or text synthesis. And one thing for sure is text transfer or information transfer is not text synthesis. So you need to learn this skill, because if you have mastered the skill of synthesizing text, then you are more likely to have a very low level of similarity from your work. So it's very important that you try to learn how to master the skill. So when you get the similarity report and the score is high, there are also so many things that you need to do. Also, you need to examine, or you need to critically examine the way you come out with your document. Some of you might have been using the ChatGTP. Some of you might have been using too much of direct quotations. Some of you might have been you have failed to summarize the text. That is the reason why you are having all that you are having a high similarity score. So once you know the reason why you are having a high similarity score, it's actually very important for you to go back and rewrite those sections with a high similarity score. And when you are revising those sections, try to write those sections in your own words. If you are finding it very difficult, trying to look someone who can also help you as you write. You do not need to change the meaning. Try to make sure that you keep the meaning of that statement, because if you change the meaning of your statement, it might actually affect your argument. And some universities, they do not consider the total similarity score, and in our case it's 41%. They actually consider the individual scores. In the example that you see here, the individual is the one that are written are listed as 1, 2, up to 10. So the highest individual source with the similarity index, which is high, will be on top of the list, and followed with the second, and so on and so on. And as I said, some universities will consider 2% for doctoral degree for an individual similarity index, and for masters they consider 3, and they don't worry about the total similarity index score. And for me, I think that is the best approach, because depending with how the university will interpret the Turnitin report. Then yes, if you find it difficult to address the similarity in your research paper, please reach out to your supervisor. Your supervisor is the best person to reach out. And it's actually very important for you to develop a good relationship with your supervisor. We'll talk about that. The importance of having a good relationship with your supervisor. But you don't need to, if you talk of good relationship with the supervisor, we are not saying every time just phone your supervisor, text your supervisor necessarily. We are not talking about that. It's actually very important for you to have a good relationship. However, it's not every time that the supervisor and student relationship is good. In some cases, it's actually cats and dogs type of relationship. They don't actually see eye to eye, but one person wants to rely from the other. So it's actually very important for you to know that it's good that you have a good relationship. But in the case that your relationship is not good, you can't reach to your supervisor. You can also reach to your peers or other students, and you can also reach out to our team of experts in the master's and doctoral degrees, tips for help. And I'm sure that we will be more than to help you to identify the areas that you need to work on. It's very important that you need to know that we don't write for you. We are not going to rephrase it for you. We are not going to rewrite for you. But what we can do, we can call you. We can even do a Teams meeting with you, and we can show you where you have made a mistake and what you need to do. And you can write, you can bring it to us. We can always show you before you send it to your supervisor. Yes, let's use the technology. We promote technology in this group, but we cannot use the technology to cheat our own education system. Otherwise, we are actually producing products that are half-cooked, products that are actually useless. So in this group, as we always say, there's no to plagiarism, no to academic theft and dishonesty. We promote the academic excellence through the use of technology, but for the good reasons. Thank you for listening to this video. Please share this video and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Enjoy.